Oh, get out your bowl. We're going to make some delicious brownies. Y'all, they are really, actually, I'm no kidding. They are the best brownies that I've ever eaten. And they are so good, and they're so easy to make. And you can make them during the Thanksgiving and Christmas, whenever. You're going to love them. Now, the first thing you do is we are going to get us out a saucepan, which I've got out my saucepan. And we are going to melt some shortening and 1 stick of butter in the saucepan. You don't have to have a mixer to do this. You've got all this in your kitchen right now. We're going to turn it on kind of low. Let it heat up a little bit so we melt it together. These are so moist. As a matter of fact, that's a stick of butter, and this is a half of a cup of your shortening. Right here. Whatever kind you like. We had a lady that came to the Cottle house, and she said, my husband won't let me make anything else. He loves those brownies. And I said, and I love them too. You know, you just can't beat a good brownie. And so if you're called to make something, you know, and you need to get it going, and you've got all this stuff in your kitchen. All right, we're just going to melt that slowly right there for a second. And let me wipe my hands off. Here's the book that I'm using to get the brownie mix. It's this book. And I know you have it because y'all ordered it. So let's cook in it. It's got great stuff in it. And the brownies are on page 169. 169. There they are. And there's your recipe. If some of you need to screenshot it, you don't have a book. But this is my third cookbook. Y'all, this is so good. And you're going to love it. And listen, have you got some children coming to your house during the holidays? Well, they want some brownies. And they want some good cold milk in a tin cup. All right, this is melting real good. And to this, once we get it melted, let me tell you what we're going to add. Let me turn it around where I can see the light right here. We are going to put our sugar in there. After it's, we're going to let it cool for just a minute or two. And then we're going to put our sugar in here. And I'll tell you how much of that to do. But Mama used to make brownies. And, you know, it's just something you can go in there and grab a square and eat it. And you don't have to have a cake plate. You don't have to have anything. Just a good old brownie. I like it with coffee. I like it with good cold milk. It's my favorite, though. I like whole milk, and I like it to be in a little tin cup. And they're just so good like that. So we're just going to make us some brownies for Thanksgiving. Okay, you don't want to let it completely cool. You just don't want it to really be bubbly. Now we're going to add in, the next thing you add in is your cocoa powder. And y'all have some of this in your house. I know y'all do, because it's what you make hot chocolate out of. All right, there we go. We're going to add in 4 tablespoons. 1. Now, y'all got to add it at this point. That's important, because cocoa doesn't mix with everything, okay? And here's our 4th one. And whisk this in real good. See how easy this is? You can have this for dinner today. Or this afternoon. With this cold weather coming in, see how good that mixed up is there? Now we're going to add our sugar. And let's see how much sugar we're going to have. I think it's a cup. I thought I'd already measured it out. Maybe it's 2 cups. No, I hadn't measured it out. Let's get our sugar. Let's get our sugar. And we are going to need 2 cups of sugar. And y'all know I keep buying in a little jar over here. Somebody asked me one time, these are Lance jars. And they asked me what that cross thing on there was. Those are swords. I looked it up one time and I forgot what it said. This is a 2-cup measure here. Let me shake it out. There you go, 2 cups. And yes, this is a lot of sugar, but heck, it's the holidays. That's how I look at it. All right, I'm gonna whisk this in while it's still kind of warm. Gosh, I love chocolate. Look at that. Y'all, you're gonna love these brownies. I'm telling you, this does not disappoint. So if you've got the book, go ahead and get it out and make these while I'm making them. There's a clump of sugar. My word. Let me see if I can get that clump out of there. I may have to get it out with a spoon. Let me see if I can get that clump out of there. Get out of there, boy. There we go. All right, we're gonna get that all mixed up. See how good that looks. These are so rich and so moist. Yes, ma'am, you're gonna love it. Okay, there's that part. Now the next thing we're gonna do, okay, we're gonna let this cool just a little bit because we're fixing to put eggs in it, and you can't just put it in this really hot. They'll cool. We're gonna let it do about 5 minutes. I'm gonna stir it, get it cool or cooler, and we're gonna put in 1 egg at a time. So what I think I'll do, I think I will go ahead and mix my eggs up so that while that's cooling, I'll have it ready. And I can kind of guesstimate what 1 egg is, can y'all? When it says 1 egg at a time. All right. I don't even know why I got out that bowl. We're not gonna need it. All right, here are my 4 eggs. Takes 4 eggs. Okay. Don't y'all love this little bowl? Isn't that pretty? This little antique bowl. These eggs are large, by the way. I'm gonna go ahead and mix them up a little bit before I put it in there, but you don't have to. You can just do 1 egg at a time if you want to. I just thought I'd do this while it was cooling a little bit. Then we're gonna whisk these in. We only got 3 more ingredients and we'll be done. We're gonna cook them at 350 in a 9 by 13 pan. I mean, let's see, what was it? Let me look again. Yeah, 9 by 13, and I've already floured it, greased it. All right, there are our 4 eggs. What we're gonna do is use White Lily all-purpose flour because we don't want these to rise up like a cake. So we just go use the all-purpose flour, okay? All right, we're gonna mix this in now with our stuff here. Let me get my whisk back out. I'm gonna do 1 egg at a time. There's 1. What you say? Come over here where you can see a little better. Y'all, your kids could do this. Get your children out and let your grandchildren know. Let them make some brownies. They will love it. They like to play in the kitchen. Do you like to play in the kitchen too? All right, there's 1. All right, here's 2. Talk about rich and good. No wonder these things are so good. No wonder. No wonder. That's my dryer telling me that load is done. I'll go get it in a minute. When we put these in the oven, I'll go out there and fold some clothes. There's 3, and 1 more. Here it is. Now we're going to mix our flour in here. And we don't want it to rise. We want them really moist and chewy and delicious, and they're going to be. So we're going to use our all-purpose flour. Now this is what we're going to use. Make sure that your flour says all-purpose, okay? Because that is important. You do not want self-rising in this one, okay? All right, so here is my cup of flour, 1 cup. I'll come and dry. Look at that thing fussing at me. That is just fussing at me something awful. Okay, here's the rest of it. I hope I have some flour left in this pan by the time I make such a mess in my kitchen. This makes a lot of brownies, y'all. And you're just gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Some of y'all have already made them and told me that your husband said don't ever make another brownie except that one. Because they love it. All right, let's get it off the sides with our spoon here. Let's add our vanilla. Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. One teaspoon of vanilla. No. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. This was sent to me this week. It's a little set. It's a little magnetic things. All right, let's use 2 teaspoons of vanilla. One. 2. Are y'all excited? I am. We're going to mix that around. This. And these are already chopped in pieces. 1 cup of pecans. I mean, y'all look at that. Look at that, how good that looks. It is so wonderful. And we just did it just a few minutes right here on the top of our stove. Now let's put it in our casserole dish. And this is the one that I picked right here. Because this is 9 by 13 and it's flour, grease, and all that stuff. So all we're going to do is just pour it in it from our saucepan. Look at there. Don't have to have a mixer. Don't have to have anything. Just what I told you. I'm going to go over the recipe one more time. Now, if you've already got the book, I told you what page it's on. Go get your book and go ahead and make this today. Make it today. If you don't have a book, I'm fixing to tell you what the recipe is. So you'll know. Make sure the corners have got some in it. You know, sometimes you have to even it out a little bit, okay? Here it is. We're going to put it in the oven for 350, at 350, I think for 30 minutes, but I fix it to tell you right now. Let me rinse my hands off. I'm using the great state of Washington today. Thank you, Washington, for sending me this. I hate to use it. It's so pretty. You hate to mess them up, but you got to. You know, that's just part of cooking. All right, so let me get the book, and we're going to talk about it. We've got it on 350, and we're going to let it cook for 30 minutes. So, okay, it's 10 minutes after 7, 10 minutes after 7 in the morning. So, we'll let it cook till 20 till, and that'll be 30 minutes. All right, so here it is. It's on page 169. So I want you to make these today because you're just going to love them this afternoon. They'll be so good. All right, so here's what you got. 1 stick of butter with 1/2 cup of shortening. And you're going to mix that in a saucepan on, kind of medium heat till it melts. Then you're going to add your cocoa powder. 4 tablespoons of it. Mix that in. Then you're going to add, you're going to let it cool a little bit before you do your eggs, okay? 2 cups of sugar. Mix that in. Then, after it's cooled a little bit, just stir it, let it cool a little bit. Then add your eggs. And we're adding 4 large eggs. 1 cup. Then you add 1 cup of white lily self-rising flour. Oh my gosh, not self-rising. Excuse me, y'all. I'm so sorry. All-purpose. Lord, don't put a self-rising. That thing will come out of the pan and run around in the kitchen. All-purpose white lily flour. 2 teaspoons of vanilla and a cup of pecans. Cook it 350 for 30 minutes. And you're going to have these delicious looking brownies. All my recipes have pictures of what the recipe looks like, y'all. I'm not going to throw you out to the dogs. Look at there. I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like. My books are very, very easy. They're wonderful, and the in this book that ranch dressing mix took me 3 hours to perfect that thing. So when you go there, if you make that in your mayonnaise jar, it'll last indefinitely. The only thing you need to remember is this: don't use fresh herbs, because they get slimy after a while. If you're making something you want to last, use your dried, and that way it'll last a long time in the refrigerator. Okay? All right, so we're going to let that cook, and we're going to be back in a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to fold clothes, and I'm going to clean up this mess I've made in here. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, our brownies have cooked for 32 minutes. I got busy with something else, and I forgot to take them out, but they're fine. All right, so let's take out our brownies and look at how delicious they look, and then we're going to taste one. Look at that. And that was so easy. And so many times when y'all have been making brownies, you've been using that box brownies. You don't have to do that. You want the good stuff. If you're going to eat sweets, let's eat it right. Let's get us a knife and a knife and a spatula. And you're really not supposed to cut them when they're really hot like this, but I can't wait, so I'm just going to cut it. If it tears up, it tears up. I want to taste one of them. Yeah, you could go ahead and cut them if you want to, whatever, but it's going to tear up, I tell you. The first one, when you get out, well, it wouldn't if I had it cooled. The last time I made these, I promise y'all, I had them out in here cooling, and I kept going back, and danged if I didn't eat just about the whole pan. But anyway, I cut me a square out. Okay. You're supposed to eat it with your fingers, but I'm going to have to get a fork. Because it's dadgum hot. All right, there it is. And that didn't take but just a little bit of effort on your part to do this. You probably got all these ingredients. You are missing out if you don't cook this. I love pecans in mine. If you don't, then don't put them, but I love them. My jaw. It still hurts sometimes. I ate 2 oranges yesterday, and I cut them in wedges, and when I was eating them, I was pulling the meat off that white part and eating not. Well, I just ate the peeling and everything, but I guess I chewed too much. It started my jaw hurting again. This was given to me, and I just want to share it with you. But listen, I am telling you, make these today. You'll eat the whole pan. This was given to me, and when I first looked at it, I thought it was a Christmas tree. I thought, oh, that is so pretty, and it is. But it's not. Now watch what you do. You take this off. It's got 4 of them on here. And let's say your pot was hot. You didn't want to sit it on your counter. You just do like this. You put it down and put your pot on it, and it holds it in place like that. It pops back up when you finished eating. Put it back on here. And I told them, I said, hey, I'm going to put a star on top of mine and use it for Christmas decorations too. Or sit something up there like a little thing. Isn't it amazing? People dream up all this stuff. It is amazing to me. I can tell you that. This has that little crunchiness on the very top when it cools, which makes it really good. Okay, y'all know what page it's on. Most of you have the book. If you don't have it, you go to brendagantbook.com and get it. I've written 3 cookbooks. Y'all have a wonderful day and good Sunday morning to you.